Hi everyone, this is Dr. Charles E. Clough greeting you again on where you're watching this either on a Saturday evening or a Sunday morning or actually some other time whenever you connect. I am coming from the Church of Truth, and we see ourselves as a center for awakening consciousness. We are always opening up to new ways to see things, think things, experience God. This will be the last time that there is a presentation like this that comes on Saturday or Sunday morning, because starting March the 7th, we will be having a live service from our worship center, and it will be live, and you'll be able to watch it at 11 o'clock, and it'll be either FaceTime or YouTube, and we'll send you the information a couple of days before so you'll know how to connect. We're looking forward to that. We're finally going to have people coming again, sitting there enjoying each other, the kind of togetherness thing that we actually like. As we think about what's been going on, there's kind of been some good news, and it's been the Mars landing. $33.9 million miles between where this rover is and we are. It takes between 4 minutes and 22 seconds and I think 29 minutes for communication to come from the rover, the satellites that are picking up the messages from the rover to get the messages to us. And they come to NASA. It's kind of interesting that we live right where NASA is. They're kind of worldwide, so everyone knows where Pasadena is. I guess it's kind of like the Rose Parade. Everybody knows where the Rose Parade is too. These are things watched from all over. Kind of a privilege to be here, be a part of that. We feel connected to these scientific types of things that are going on from this location that is just right near us, just maybe a 15-minute drive from where I am right now. Actually, everything that we learn and appreciate from these launches, these different satellites, these different probes, and the rovers that have been on different planets, what we learn is from communication. If we lose communication, then the benefits that we receive from these experiments, and we just don't pick it up. Communication is the way that we understand each other, relate to each other. NASA learns and benefits from talking to the rover on Mars, and it's just starting. First time we've had a flying object from our side that's able to be like a drone. It is a drone that's able to move around and pick up information. That's so special, and to see those pictures are amazing. This is distances between two who are communicating. The rover and ourselves, a huge distance separation. It's hard to imagine 33.9 million miles. But there are other distance separations that don't have to do with location. Distances of concentration, distances of awareness. We think of how grand and wonderful God is, and we think of all the traits and characteristics we imagine are the way God is. We think of God being love. What that means, he's loving all the time. That's how God is. Love is God's default. Love is how God is whenever we get close to God. That's what we feel. That's what we sense, along with peace and joy and these other things that are so important to us. But we get ourselves distanced consciously from the core of where all of these special traits originate. And you know what's so strange about that? Is the core of these traits that are so special to the quality of life we have are within us. It's not like we have to go somewhere and do something to connect with that which brings us these wonderful things that we just are so hungry for. There are times when we yearn for certain foods. I know that's true for us. So you can hop in the car. Of course, you can't go sit in a restaurant right now and eat there, but you can still pick up things. When you have an urge for something, you can go get it, you can bring it home, and you can enjoy it. I wish it was so simple that when, for example, we just need a big clump of peace or a good meal of joy. Or how about a snack of happiness? It'd be so neat if we could just go out and do that, bring it to where we are, and enjoy it and be completely fulfilled for a period of time. Why that doesn't happen is because those traits are more than just a snack. They're more than just sitting down for a short time and enjoying something that tastes good, to where we'll be hungry again later. Actually, some of the spiritual enjoyments that we have do bring something to us for a while, that we look to enjoy it later too. But all of these traits and characteristics are in us, waiting for our consciousness to connect to them. We can have this tremendous presence within us and mentally not be connected to it. Learning that this source wants to bring us all this is a big thing for us to discover. We know it's there, but we don't know how close it is. There's a story I read the other day, and it was the story about a man and children. The father and mother got divorced. The mother took off with the children and disappeared. The father did everything he could to try to find them and could not. She was very good at staying invisible. She died because she was involved in drugs. And the children were farmed out by social services into foster homes. One of the foster parents, from the things that the oldest child said, tried to connect to this father, whom she was sure was looking for these children, and the father was. Through a phone connection, finally, they came to each other. And the father got together with the children and brought them in again to himself as an active parent. One of the things that we do sometimes is when we generalize, we will say God is our Father. And this is so true. He's the Father of all of us. But a tremendous step in awareness is when we say God is my Father. Parents say to their children, you are our children. But they will talk to a child and say, you are my child. We would say, this is our family, and we'd say, this is my family. We have this larger picture of what relationships are, but this individual picture of who a certain person is with us. God is in all of us in a general full way, but God is in each of us in a specific way, so that we can think God is our God. But you know, there's something special when we really get a hold of also being able to say God is my God. When this father joined with his children again, he was able to say, these are my children, and to each one he said, you are my child. And the children were able to say, this is our Father, and this is my Father. These large distances of communication allow for specific content and contact. Some of the persons in our space station, they talk generally to everyone. But there's sometimes very personal communication they have with a wife or a husband or a child or a family. And all of a sudden, the we things become just you and me. The you and me part of our God relationship is huge when you really discover it and enjoy it. That's why there's an emphasis on prayer and meditation. When we kind of leave the all part and come into this small place, the individual closet or individual room. And you know what? When we go into that individual room, we see that that room has windows and doors that go out into all that God is. We go into the specific to see the general. We say, this is my God, to see this is our God. And how wonderful that is. As we move back to our regular services, we just have such a desire to help this concept of our God and my God to become specifically important, and to have our location be one where God is able in all his different ways to meet people wherever they are and however they are. Christians talk about experiencing God as a new birth. The Hindu religion talks about experiencing God as enlightenment. All the different ways people think of experiencing God are all how God has people experience himself as God or herself as God. So as we anticipate meeting on the 7th, which will be our next presentation and our next meeting, would you think ahead about how we all together want this to allow us to move through another door of ministry? For we're set up for live streaming, not just us. The Seventh-day Adventists are live streaming on Saturday and reaching out. Our friend Jack's ministry is reaching out. There are 4 or 5 different groups that are reaching out through our facility right now and will be. And there are going to be others. We're opening God up to all that God can be from this Pasadena location, just like the NASA location or the New Year's parade location. This is a place where we can be out there, and we're planning on that, looking forward to that, believing that God wants that to happen. And we join God as a group and as individuals for it to occur. I thank God for you, and I pray for God to bless you and help you experience more of His allness and more of Himself or herself and yourself, very specific, very private, very you. God bless you, and so it is.
Love is always the answer, whatever the question may be. Know that God's love surrounds you. Let that love set you free. Open up with joy now. Open up your heart. Look at each other with the eyes of love, and a world of love will start. Cherish God's love inside of you. Know that it's always there. You're never alone for a moment. God's love is there to share. Open up with joy now. Open up your heart. Look at each other with the eyes of love, and a world of love will start. Receive the blessing of love that God has given you. Know that when you're in need, God will see you through. Open up with joy now. Open up your heart. Look at each other with the eyes of love, and a world